Welcome to episode 140 of This Week in Marketing Show. This is your host Sajid Islam. Today I'll be going over the notable news and updates in the digital marketing space from the week of December 19 through 23, 2022. And Merry Christmas to those of you who are celebrating Christmas. With that, let's jump in. First off, Elon Musk has tweeted that from now on, people can see each other's tweet view counts. So allow me to explain what this means. So now when you tweet, we do not really know how many people have seen that tweet. We have seen how many people have responded, how people have, engaged with it, things like that. By engagement, again, I mean liked or commented on it. Now, obviously, we can go and manually search it one by one. However, there is no way to give us a number. Like we see this on Instagram where we can see how many people have liked a certain post. Now, Elon Musk is saying, hey, from now on, what we will be able to do is we should be able to go to a tweet and be able to see how many people have viewed that tweet. How that will all work out, it remains to be seen, because I could be scrolling by and not interact with that tweet. Will that count as a view? Now, nevertheless, this will definitely help a lot of big brands and a lot of sponsored posts where people are saying, oh, my tweets have this much reach. We'll know exactly what it is true or what is false, or if someone is making up the number. The other drawback of this thing is, like, for example, on Instagram, when we post on our Instagram channel, Market and Grow, sometimes we have only like 6 or 7 likes, and that kind of demotivates us from putting out content, because again, part of me knows, hey, it's a process. We got to keep on posting it, and then someday someone is gonna find it. So if you look at like in Nas Daily, a popular channel, and I found out that Nas Daily posted 1,000 consecutive days before he reached a inflection point where he went viral. Up until that, he did not get any views. He barely got any traction, things like that. And that remains to be seen. So a lot of platforms have gone back and given users the ability to turn off the public view counts in fear of retaliation and in fear of having the demotivating numbers. But it's nice to see that Elon Musk is bringing that public view count, but however he does give, I hope he gives us the option to turn on, turn it off, depending on who we are. So if we need to stroke our ego and show it off to the world, how far reach we have, we would probably be able to turn it on. But in the other sense, if we are just getting started and we feel like, hey, you know what, we just don't want that added pressure, noise and pressure on us, we just want to keep it quiet, maybe just turn it off. Will remain to be seen. Okay, next up. On Google Analytics, GA4, one of the things with GA4 migration was the hard work was that, hey, we have to manually move our audiences from Universal Analytics, the current version of Google Analytics, again, also known as GA3 or Google Analytics 3. Some people call it GA3, or some people call it Universal Analytics as it's known, to GA4 was the manual move. Now, Google has come out with this tool called the Migrator tools that will help you to pull the audiences from Universal Analytics into GA4 as long as they are of the same dimensions and metrics. If they're different, you will have the option to change the dimensions and upload them back. Now, if you're unsure what Google Analytics Google Analytics audiences are, it's basically a group of website visitors with shared attributes, for example, gender, device type, country, or browsing behavior, right? So hope that helps. And this is just one, sign that, it's high time for you to migrate to GA4. You only have another 6 months before Universal Analytics is turned off. On the SEO front, Gary Illes from Google wrote that, he wrote it on his LinkedIn post that, sitemaps are hints, not an order. Meaning, just because you submit an XML sitemap to Google, it does not mean Google will index and rank content. Gary gave an example of a search engine, hypothetical search engine called Steve, where he says, a sitemap file as defined by sitemaps.org is a great way to tell search engine Steve that about your site's URL, but that's where it ends. You tell Steve to read your sitemap. You tell search engine Steve to read your sitemap, but if Steve doesn't trust your site, will delight users, it won't bother reading your sitemap. So, folks, this is not the first time we're saying that Google does not have a guaranteed crawling, indexing, or ranking of your URLs, right? We go again and again. Just last week, episode 139, we said, the new formula is EEAT. Google added experience to the existing EAT model. You really need to have content that follows the EEAT model, and only then you will get indexed and ranked. Next up, someone on Reddit was asking, hey, is it better for me to use a WordPress website or should I just hard code a website? To that, Google Search Advocate John Muller wrote, look, it doesn't really matter whether you use WordPress, Wix, Squarespace, or any other, websites, or even hard code or manually code it. What you need to have is good content. I think I sound like a broken record because I keep talking about writing good content, because that's what the advice is from Google. Google is saying stop the game of writing for social search engines and start writing for humans and answer their questions. I mean, maybe that's one of the reasons why, people on social media do so well. Think about it. People on social media, they write content for other users to teach them, to inform them, to educate them. They don't write it because I'm going to get more likes and comments by the social media algorithm. They publish content that will delight the users on the other end, right? And then they know they're going to engage with it, they're going to like it, they're going to share it, they're going to save it, and thus they will get the good brownie points, or the virality or the reach. I don't know why it's so any different in SEO. It's the same concept. It's just that over the years, it's just been too much of crap that's been shared by the so-called experts that just really made a lot of crappy things that's being published out there. Okay. With that, let's go to the next and the last update of this week. And yes, this was a short week just because of the Christmas. But so the last update of this week is word count is not a ranking factor. And I'm pretty sure this is something we've covered in the past. It came up again, so I thought I'd bring it up and share with you. Cosmic Dash, this is a user on Mastodon complained that, hey, I have this popular SEO tool called Yoast, and Yoast is yelling at me for having more than 300 words in a section. But I'm going to ignore Yoast and I'm going to just have it as is. To that, Google's Search Advocate John Muller replied, hey, for what it's worth, there is nothing in Google algorithm that focus on a certain number of words per section. It can make sense to help with readability, which I suspect Yoast focuses on, and which is a good thing, but it's definitely not an hashtag SEO factor. And that's exactly, I read what he wrote verbatim. And this is not the first time, Google is saying ranking is not a word count is not a ranking factor. This was said back in 2019. They're saying it now. Yoast is pushing for a 300 word count. Again, I do not know why a popular SEO tool is going to push for 300 words in a section, because, hey, it's just a dumb tool. As much as you want to say, I just say it's a dumb tool, because if you're counting, I could need more than 500 words to explain in a section of what I want to get conveyed. Right. So this goes to prove my point that how much of fat and bad advice is floating out there around the web when it comes to SEO from the so-called self-proclaimed SEO experts and tools. My question to you before signing off is, who are you choosing to listen? Will you listen to Google Search Advocate John Muller, who gets paid by Google? He is basically Google's face when it comes to the community and to represent Google. Or do you want to go and listen to a self-proclaimed expert who have never worked with Google? SEO is a black box and just making things up. The choice is yours, but for me, I would say I would listen to Google's John Muller and what he has to say and take it from there. Signing off, this is your host Sajid Islam. Until next week, take care. Bye-bye.